Welcome to Yeukai Business Show, UK's premier business show where we feature business thought leaders, high achievers, and industry experts. Today's episode is brought to you by World Outsourcing Solutions Limited, a company that specializes in helping executive business owners with virtual assistant services and business growth systems. Here's your host, Yeukai Ketchadori.
Hello and welcome to another special episode on Yeukai Business Show. I'm thrilled that you have carved out some time in your busy schedule today to listen into one of our great guests. As always, we love bringing you some of the experts that are really, truly making a huge impact in our world today, in the world of business. And today is no different because my guest today has been at it for several years. In fact, has developed critical skills that are required to pursue what we're going to be talking about. In fact, we're going to be exploring the necessary critical skills needed today. And again, before we jump into the conversation, I want to encourage you to join the conversations that is going on in our community today if you're already a member of the community. And if you're not a member of the community, you want to click the link below this recording and you'll be taken directly into our podcast community. There you'll find some amazing people, amazing previous guests on the show, and also people who just love what we are talking about. Several groups going on there, and I'm always there, and my business partners are always there, and also our guests are always there. So make sure to jump into the conversation because you never know what you discover during those conversations. Now back to our guest here today. Once again, thank you so much for joining us here. Truly appreciate you sparing some time to talk to us today. Now, to get us started, could you tell us a little bit about yourself in terms of your background, education, and experience in this area? And while at it, do share what has made you a success, because I know a lot of people have tried to do what you're doing here but have not had success. If you had to single out one thing that you've done consistently and has produced the tremendous result for you to develop these critical skills, that would be amazing.
Thank you very much for having me on. I have been a copywriter, to answer your question. I have been an advertising and marketing copywriter for more than 30 years. I got my first job in an advertising agency when I was pretty much fresh out of college. I did not have a job, and so what did I do? I advertised myself in order to get a job. I hung up signs all over the place in Boston that said I was available for whatever work people needed doing. And eventually an advertising agency contacted me and I got a job answering the phone and doing some typing, and one thing led to another, and I got on-the-job training in the advertising agency where I stayed for over a decade. And I've loved it so much. That's all I've ever wanted to do. And so I've had different positions. And then I eventually went out on my own. And in terms of what I have done to be successful as an independent copywriter, it helps to love what I do. That means that I'm happy to do it all the time. But I have to say, I think the reason I'm being successful as a copywriter these days is that I am not reluctant to promote myself. Some people, might not be as comfortable doing that, but I am always on LinkedIn sharing what I know and making connections. I participate in all sorts of networking events and opportunities, and I guess my unrestrained enthusiasm for what I do has really helped me to be successful.
Wow, that's an incredible experience that you've had on there. Now, let's dive deep into the purpose of our conversation. In your opinion, having worked with several number of people, what is the first skill every business owner needs to develop when it comes to this area? And maybe you can talk about why this skill is important and perhaps the best way to develop these skills.
I think the first thing I want to explain is what my primary skill is. I am a copywriter, and a lot of people think that has to do with legal protection for trademark or something, and that is not what a copywriter is. A copywriter writes advertising and marketing to help companies stand out in the marketplace. So I write advertising, I come up with names, I come up with taglines for companies and services and so on. So it's a wonderful, wonderful skill to have. Anyone can benefit from being a strong and persuasive writer. If I have to give a crash course in what I do, I would just say, remember to be clear in your writing. Be easy, and that doesn't mean be boring. It just means remember that your reader is a human being, and you don't benefit from being complex in your writing or overly formal. You're really trying to connect with another human being. So the more accessible and engaging and interesting and even fun and funny your writing can be, I think you will get more traction.
Outstanding. I just want to talk to you, Bill, listening in the audience today, and maybe a lot of other people listening. What we've just discovered there in that critical skill, if you were to master that, I know that we're going to be talking about other skill sets here, you will see incredible difference in what you're going to do. It may be a slow start, but surely as the sun rises in the morning, you're going to see the difference. So I want to encourage you, if you're taking notes, to put a circle around it. If you are listening in the car, make a mental note to that, and find a way of making sure you implement what you're discovering here today. Let's dive deep into the second skill that you think business owners needs to develop at this stage. And maybe while we're at it, we could talk about the tools or the website or the app that makes this critical skill development a breeze. And maybe we could also explore, if anybody gets stuck in developing this skill, what can they actually do right there and there. I know I've asked 3 questions there, but it would be great if we could answer all those and really give people what actually works.
In addition to the skill of copywriting, I would say the second most valuable skill anyone can have is the ability to network and connect with other people. That is something I have done very consistently and energetically in my own business. I am extremely active on LinkedIn. I write an email that goes out to other freelancers and graphic designers and marketers and people I might want to partner with in the future or who might want to partner with me in the future. I'm on Instagram and Twitter sharing knowledge and connecting with people. I have 2 different groups that I pull together through LinkedIn, and one of them is just a social hour that we have every other week. It's simply no agenda whatsoever. The other one is about copywriting specifically, and both of those groups have built me friendship and alliances and experts that I can turn to. So I know it sounds like a cliche that, it's not what you know, it's who you know, or, you've got a network. It sounds like a cliche or something, but it makes working so much more pleasant. And it also has meant that I just have work that keeps coming in. I never have to make a cold call People just seem to know about me, and when they have copywriting needs, they contact me.
Awesome, awesome. And now on to our third and final skill that you as a business owner, Bill, ought to develop. I know we are only covering three in this because I know you will carry on the conversation in the community to discover more things. But what we are doing here is just highlight the bigger and the broader skill sets that you certainly need to develop. Coming back to you, why is it important to develop the next skill that we are talking about right now, and maybe explore what that skill is, and really give Bill and everybody in the audience now more detail on how to do this very thing? And again, if people get stuck in this, are there any tools? Are there any websites? And is there a quicker way of developing this that you have discovered, which perhaps a lot of people haven't? Because I know experts have got a way of finding this out. Do share with everybody here so that they know what to do next.
So in addition to copywriting and networking, the third skill I have developed and focused on in my career is that of proper writing and speaking. That's what I've focused on in my book, Unflubbify Your Writing, is trying to avoid those mistakes that are so easy to make in English, mistakes in spelling and punctuation and grammar. And I think it benefits business owners because you want to engender confidence in your business partners and prospects. So speaking properly and writing properly is always going to help and never going to hurt. So I recommend that we all learn as much as we can about the English language, all of us who use it. There are tons of good resources in addition to my book. There's you may have used Grammarly before. I use the Merriam-Webster dictionary. I actually have a subscription to an unabridged version of it. I have a subscription to the Chicago Manual of Style, which is the style book that I use, but it has a lot of answers. I'm looking at my bookshelf. I have, I really like a manual called Greg's, Greg's'. It has a lot of sticky situations explained. Garner, Brian A. Garner has a lot of wonderful books that explain a lot of problems and how to avoid them. I have actually a list of resources on my website that might be helpful now that I think about it. That's at shinyredcopy, all one word, .com/resources. I think that's what I'll do is I'll just send you there. There's a whole bunch of them. So I encourage all of us to keep learning English.
Outstanding, absolutely outstanding. Having covered all these three skill sets, I think if you master those three as a listener today, and you schedule it to do over the next 90 days, you will see a dramatic change in what you're trying to do. And you know what? Again, if you need any help with these things, you can reach out to the team in the community, or reach out to directly using the web link below to the expert right now. Let's go a little bit deeper. I just cannot resist this to explore. Are there any other major skills at this point that perhaps business owners needs to know that we haven't covered at all during this conversation?
I think the last thing that I would say is that advertising works, and you should not hesitate to promote yourself. In fact, if you don't promote yourself, no one will know what you have to offer. So for anyone who is shy or introverted or reluctant to tell the world what you do or why it's good, I encourage you to step up and get out there, toot your own horn, and tell the world what you can do.
Incredible. Absolutely incredible. Thank you. Truly, thank you. One of the things I've discovered, even in my own journey, that has helped me and is helping a lot of people in our community, it is the tools that are available in today. Some of the tools when I started, for example, in podcasting, that have made things easier. We're not there. Right now, we've got a tremendous amount of technology, including the AI. So, in your opinion, having been in this industry for a while and helping thousands of people, are there any specific tools or websites or apps that you think will be very beneficial to the listeners today? I'd love to hear of them. If you could share that with everybody today.
In terms of tools, I guess I don't use a ton of them. I've been using otter.ai as for transcription, which is sometimes helpful when I have a meeting with my clients and I can record them, and then later I can find the salient ideas that I need to use. There are other apps that do the same type of thing. Again, I would send you to my website, to the resources page. There are a lot of websites and podcasts and things there that might be helpful. I did share this little technical tool the other day that a lot of people didn't seem to know about, and I use it so many times every day. And you may not know this. If you highlight any word in any app, pretty much, you can right click and hold down your mouse on the word, and a dictionary definition will pop up. And I find that so helpful to double check spelling, double check meaning, double check synonyms and things like that. So that's a tool that I probably use the most.
Awesome. I'm absolutely loving this. I just want to switch gear for a moment here, and talk about mindset. Experience and even in conversation that I have with other business owners here in the community has shown me that having a certain mindset when it comes to these things is somewhat can be a decisive factor for success or failure. In your experience as the expert in this area, what do you think is the perfect mindset business owners needs to have, or they must have, in order to develop the skill sets that we were talking about throughout our time here together?
In terms of mindset, I can only speak from my personal experience and tell you where I am and how I think that's helped me. I happen to love what I do, and my enthusiasm comes through quite loudly, and I think that's been beneficial. It also means that I have no trouble working. I always want to. I find it fun. My mindset, I'm always trying to learn new things. I am working to learn design and Adobe Suite and Spanish I'm learning. And I feel like these new skills and me stretching myself benefits my business. And I've also had fun. I think this is a mindset thing. I go with my gut and I go with some hunches that other people might not think are a great idea, and I just feel so confident that I want to pursue them. And then when they work, I find that the gratification of that so immense. So I think those are all mindset things.
Amazing. Absolutely amazing. Thank you. I'm sure, Abil, you're taking note of those. Again, what we'll try to do is condense these tools and put them in the blog or in the write-up right at the bottom of this recording so that you can have easy access to them, because what we are experiencing here is absolute pure gold here. And we're so grateful for that. We are certainly coming toward the end of our time here together, but I never want to close it without giving you an opportunity to share with us anything that I haven't asked you, but that you feel as the expert is an absolute must for business owners, for people to have or to know about if they are going to increase their chances of success. Is there anything that I haven't asked you today that you feel the audience needs to know about?
One thing I didn't mention earlier is something I do pretty much every week called Lunch Club. It is run by AI, I believe, but it matches you up with complementary business people whom you might want to meet. And I've found that, if nothing else, entertaining, but I've made some good business connections that way. If you may need an invitation from me. If so, feel free to reach out, but otherwise just look for Lunch Club. The other thing you might be interested in is I have a weekly email that has a little grammar or English lesson in it that you might enjoy. That's on my website, but you can also sign up at shinyredcopy.com/grammar. And I think that's it.
Awesome. Thank you so much for a great interview. Truly, this has been outstanding. And I never want to finish our time together here without giving you an opportunity to share with everybody how they can connect with you. And I know many of our listeners here will be sending messages in the community right now as we speak to connect with you or even ask follow-up questions. So where can people connect with you? The easiest place, maybe it's your website or any social media. Would you share with everybody here today?
As I have mentioned more than once, my website is shinyredcopy.com, but I'm also extremely active on LinkedIn, and I would invite you to connect with me or follow me there because I post every day. And I'm also on Instagram under two different accounts, both my name, Sara Rosinsky, and also my company name, Shiny Red Copy. Those two accounts have slightly different flavors. And I'm also on Twitter. I would love to connect with anyone and everyone. I'm quite social.
Awesome. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. What a great conversation we've just had here. Truly life-changing information that when you apply it in your life, you will see true results. And again, if you are struggling with any of the area that we have talked about here today, go back into the community. You can ask questions. You will get support from your fellow listeners, and I'll be in there. My team will be in there. My business partners will be in there as well. And would you actually, before we jump off, share with everybody how you too are going to be helping people beyond this recording in the community? We certainly would love to do that. And until next time, ladies and gentlemen, I want to leave you with this. Live well, live with passion. Know that the best is truly, truly yet to come. Goodbye, everybody. Talk to you soon.
Thank you for listening to Yeukai Business Show. We will be back to bring you more episodes with success stories and advice straight from the experts. Want more? Check out www.yeukai.businessshow.com. Get your free trial of our virtual assistant service today. Just visit www.worldoutsourcingsolutions.com. Quote WOS18 or send us an email at support@worldoutsourcingsolutions.com.